Huge news today between the GOAT app and Flight Club. What's going on? I've got hit up by many people asking me if I know anything. So I reached out to the community and talked to several people with knowledge of the situation between the GOAT app and Flight Club. What's going on? I'll tell you what I know. Some might be, hopefully most of it's true, but there might be some information that I received that might not be 100% accurate yet as we find out more and more as time goes on. Stay tuned. First up, let me show you a little screenshot of the email I received from Flight Club early this morning at 8:14 a.m. Eastern Time from Flight Club, because I used to sell on Flight Club, but I stopped last year in 2017. We'll get more into that within the video, but Flight Club sent me an email. I'll read it quickly. Dear valued seller, nearly 13 years ago, they opened up their doors, blah, blah, blah. Let's move on down. Together we create our mark in sneaker culture history. Because of that, it brings us great joy to announce to you first that Flight Club is merging with GOAT. Everybody knows GOAT is like an online phone app that buys and sells shoes. Merging with GOAT to create the world's largest sneaker marketplace. In just 3 short years, GOAT has become the premier mobile platform for listings by demonstrating the best-in-class technology in our space. Together, as one company, we will leverage both brands to create synergies that offer unparalleled efficiencies and liquidity to you. It's blah, 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 blah. It's just a bunch of mumbo-jumbo trying to hype up this merger, as they call it. Let's back up. A company called Index Ventures recently dumped $60 million as a commitment into the GOAT app. They gave GOAT a bunch of money because supposedly Index Ventures had a vision for the GOAT app that they could expand that out to other countries, starting with Australia and Asia. So today we get the announcement that Flight Club and GOAT app have merged together. People have asked, what's going on? Did Flight Club buy out GOAT? Did GOAT buy out Flight Club? Is this the partnership? What is this? I think last year maybe, GOAT app and Stadium Club, they had kind of a partnership, but all theirs was Stadium Club would list shoes on the GOAT app and sell it that way, and then, of course they got some kind of like reduced fees and stuff and exposure for both brands. Only problem is the partnership ended very, very quickly because a very large portion of the shoes that Stadium Club sold on GOAT app, once they sold, Stadium Club would send them off the GOAT app. GOAT app rejected a very large portion of the shoes because the boxes were severely damaged and pairs were tried on by customers and they weren't dead stock. So that partnership abolished really quick because Stadium Club wasn't selling DS shoes by what our standards are in damaged boxes. So that's not what this is. This is not the same partnership that they had. This GOAT app and Flight Club is a totally different thing. From what I understand as of right now, from what sources have told me, that GOAT app has actually bought out Flight Club. They own Flight Club now. But as of right now, let me pull up this little, let's see, information I got. The co-founder of GOAT app, Deshaun Sagano, has said that the two entities, GOAT app and Flight Club, as of right now, will remain separate, that the partnership will remain largely invisible to customers for the time being. You won't really see a difference. GOAT will be GOAT, Flight Club will be Flight Club. GOAT app has also reached out to some customers and told them as of right now, all fees will stay the same. Selling fees for GOAT's like 10%, Flight Club's 20%. So people have said, so is Flight Club going to lower fees? Is GOAT raising fees? GOAT has said nothing's changing. So when we say merger and partnership, it's not really what that is. What's happened is GOAT app has bought out Flight Club. They own Flight Club now. From the paperwork, GOAT app is now the parent company of Flight Club. That's what it says. They're the parent company. Let me explain what that means. Nike is the parent company of Jordan Brand. Jordan Brand is a subsidiary of Nike. They're two separate companies under the same umbrella, Nike and Jordan Brand. Does that make sense? So GOAT app and Flight Club is the same thing. They're under the same umbrella, owned by GOAT app as the parent company, and Flight Club will pretty much be a subsidiary of the GOAT app under the same umbrella. Hopefully that makes sense. So when it all comes down to it, the owners of GoDap will have a final say of the direction and future of Flight Club as the parent company of Flight Club now. There's a company called Index Ventures who recently put $60 million commitment into GoDap as part of a hope for growth of business, and I think this whole acquisition of Flight Club was a part of that vision of Index Ventures and their $60 million to growth within the brick and mortar business and worldwide presence, because Index Ventures has said that they wanted to take the GoDap more worldwide and have locations where you can consign shoes starting in possible Australia and Asia. So it's possible too that GoDap just maybe wanted the Flight Club name, because worldwide, if you went to Asia, more people would know what Flight Club is than the GoDap, because Flight Club has been around for 15 years and GoDap has been around for like 3. And Flight Club is well known worldwide for being, you know, a major consignment shop for sneakers. So it's possible that GoDap just wanted this Flight Club name to possibly maybe have their own brick and mortar stores under the GoDap umbrella with the Flight Club subsidiary name, if that makes sense. That's my speculation on that part, from information I got about Index Ventures and their $60 million investment into GoDap. So this isn't the death of Flight Club at this time. I have talked about Flight Club last year in 2017. Pretty much what this means is Flight Club has been hemorrhaging for a while now. No, they're not bankrupt. They weren't being threatened of closing down anytime soon, but their business isn't booming, let's call it. I even did a video last year about the slow death of Flight Club, because I used to sell on Flight Club, and for years that place was popping selling shoes. Late 2016 going into 2017, sales of Flight Club as a seller slowed down. Sometimes shoes would sit for months and not sell. So I started selling on StockX actually, and shoes are just moving like crazy. Like, you can't keep your shoes on very long because they sell. So me being the business connoisseur myself, I pulled all of my inventory slowly off of Flight Club and had it called back to me, and I was having lots of product coming back to me with damaged boxes. I mean, severely damaged boxes, so damaged that StockX would reject them as, you know, it's damaged. I got back shoes that were in used condition now because they let so many people try on shoes that the shoes were creased up, they showed wear, and I know lots of sellers like myself just quit selling on Flight Club altogether because of the inefficiencies of the way that they operate their stores. Their customer service is non-existent. As a seller, if you have a problem, good luck. They won't respond to you on Twitter. They won't respond to you by email. They won't answer their phones. Like, you're just stuck. People like me, I moved my inventory for sale over to StockX because Flight Club was just not a good place to sell on anymore as a seller, in my opinion. Some people are counter that, saying that Flight Club's the best thing since sliced bread. Your opinion. That's fine. My opinion, Flight Club's days are over. Online apps like GoDap and StockX are the future of reselling sneakers. If you don't believe me, if you live in a major city where you've got some like sneaker consignment shops, like here in Indianapolis, we have several. I have talked to the owners of actually 2 companies that went out of business over the past couple years, and they've said that it's very, very hard to have a brick and mortar sneaker resale store now because they can't compete against StockX and GOAT. Because as a buyer, what was going on is a person would walk into, you know, like Circle City Soul, they would see a pair of Jordans that they'd want. Circle City Soul had it at for $300. The customer would look on their phone on StockX and say, sir, would you lower the price on this? Of course, they'd say no. Well, on StockX, it's only $250. You're charging $3. You know, will you do $250? Of course, the brick and mortar store, they bought it out at, you know, $225, $240. So they sold it at $250. They're making $10. They can't do that. That's not sustainable. GoDap and StockX have killed the brick and mortar stores off, which, if that happens, you know, it happens. That's business. So with this merger, the way I see it as, Flight Club saw the writing on the wall that their business is hurting, their format is hurting. Flight Club recently started to let sellers manipulate the prices of their shoes a lot easier on their accounts, but it still hasn't rejuvenated the life of Flight Club. But as time evolves, everybody knows that brick and mortar businesses are suffering. You've seen Kmart's closing across the country, Sears closing across the country, Toys R Us closing across the country, Walmart just closed up a whole bunch of Sam's Clubs across the country. You've got malls closing down across the country, you got Macy's closing down across the country, you've got small mom and pop businesses closed down across the country, brick and mortar stores. What I actually mean by that is an actual store you walk into. Those are a dying breed now, because the majority of people, including myself, 95% of items I buy off the internet now. You know, if I need to get more razors to shave my head, I buy from Amazon. 99% of all shoes that I buy right now, I get from StockX. I buy from, of course, Nike, Adidas, Foot Locker, footlocker.coms. I buy from the internet, from all the websites. So this merger, I think it's just going to be, this is going to happen more and more in the future. You're going to see items like, or situations like this, where your long-standing brick and mortar stores like Flight Club are hurting for business, because who's going to pay their huge prices a pair of Jordans for $300 when I can go on StockX or GoDaddy and get it for $250? Flight Club is fantastic for a physical walk-in and shop kind of a store, but an online presence, they suck. Their customer service sucks, their shipping time sucks, their seller support sucks. So GoDaddy might have been an inevitable buyout as time goes on. So I think you actually might see this more and more happen as time goes on. Like you might see StockX buy out another company like a Riff LA or something, or they might buy out Stadium Goods or Soul Supremacy. A couple months back, the owner of Soul Supremacy, he wrote an article about how brick and mortar resale shops are a dying breed now. How he said in 2018, it's pretty much impossible to start up a brick and mortar resale consignment shop from scratch these days, because you can't compete with the internet. You can't compete with StockX and GOAT. You can't compete with their prices, with the overhead of a brick and mortar store, the insurance, the liability, the rent, the utilities, everything. You can't compete. I think we're seeing the future. So this whole thing wrapping up, all the information we have right now is GoDaddy bought out Flight Club. They're under the same umbrella, but separate entities as of right now. Two separate companies under the same umbrella. That's what we know. GoDaddy and StockX, those platforms for sneakers are the future of resale business. That's the future. Flight Club is the past. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Comment below if you have anything else maybe I said wrong, or maybe any information I didn't say correctly, or if you got more information, hit me up. I can make a part 2, I guess, or you can just correct me and say, you said that wrong, that's not true, I have proof. Let me know, because I'm just going by what I talked with people about within the community who have knowledge of the situation. Passing it on to you guys because you asked for it. So subscribe to my channel, like, comment, blah, you know, all that crap. Check me out on social media at Franchise Kicks, Instagram, Twitter, direct links below. Make sure, if you never checked out StockX, click on that direct link below. Check out StockX, download the app. Best site to buy and sell shoes on. You won't be disappointed. I use them. I love them. I'm out.